Welcome to the Off the Shelf podcast. My name is Josh.
And I'm Vinny.
What are we talking about today, Vinny?
Oh boy. Today, I thought it was about time we talked about a certain book that I meant to cover like months ago. I've been meaning to talk about this book or this series.
Like cum or water? Or
no, cover on the show. Like go over
on
it.
the podcast.
On the podcast.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We're talking about The New Avengers by Brian Michael Bendis.
Okay.
This is a series.
You love Brian Michael Bendis.
It's not that I
BMB.
It's not that I love him. It's just for a time in Marvel, he wrote everything.
Yeah.
You remember Avengers Disassembled?
I do.
This is directly after it.
Okay.
So
everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead. The Avengers are done.
They're disassembled.
Exactly. Yeah. Because Bendis didn't care about Hawkeye or Ant-Man or Vision or any of them. He was like, where is Spider-Man? Why is Spider-Man not on the Avengers? What's going on?
We were all asking that.
Exactly.
Except he would be dead too. He'd be in with the massacre of the rest of them.
He would be.
I mean, only two died, right? Vision and Hawkeye.
And Ant-Man.
And Ant-Man, you're right.
Ant-Man was the first to die. He exploded.
Oh, yeah, there was a bunch of people that... Yeah. You're right, yeah.
She-Hulk went crazy and ripped Vision in half.
Of a different one.
Yeah. Which one?
Which one is the one with the fake robots?
Ultron. Age of Ultron.
No, because it's Scarlet Witch and she's pretending to be Age of Ultron.
What? No, yeah, that's the one. That's Disassembled.
That is okay. Yeah. I forgot how many people died in that book.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So Bendis wrote Avengers Disassembled, and immediately after was like, okay, I have the keys to the Marvel house where I could write literally everything. Right? He wrote Ultimate Spider-Man. He wrote Jessica Jones. He wrote Avengers Disassembled, New Avengers. He'll write so many other things.
And after this, Marvel changed the locks.
Yes.
Really?
Okay. Here's the thing. So after Bendis' long stint at Marvel, he wrote from like early 2000s to like 2016, 17ish. After that, he gets like a disease or something. He goes to the hospital. He goes into surgery, and then he leaves Marvel and he goes to DC.
This is exactly how you explain comic books. This sounds like a comic book.
Yeah.
Can we make a book about Brian?
Bendis?
Yeah.
Boom. So
B&B.
So yeah, for the longest time, Bendis wrote a lot for Marvel, and this is one of those things that's really good, even though there's a lot of Bendis-isms in it.
Okay.
Which is a lot of quippy dialogue, a lot of dialogue that doesn't really need to be there, and a lot of insert your least favorite Bendis trope. You know?
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know.
But we've talked about him a lot.
We have.
So I could probably... I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, like I said, I've been meaning to do this episode for a long time, ever since we did Disassembled. But every time we go to record, I always have this out, and I'm like, we'll do it. And we never do. So I've decided, instead of just covering the first volume, I'll talk about like the whole series as a whole, I guess.
You say that like it's some production thing where like I'm stopping you from doing it.
No, I
have no idea what books you're what books you're gonna read.
I read all these books week to week, and I always have this one just in case I don't have anything to talk about.
Oh, okay.
And this one is I always have a stack of books ready to talk about them. This one's always there, but it's always at the bottom for no reason. So let's talk about it.
Just get it out of the way.
Let's get it.
But this is your safety. What do you won't have a safety app.
I know. I'll have to come up with something else.
Yeah.
So this is volume 1. I have volume 1, 2, and 3 here. I'll really like talk about volume 1 mostly, and then I'll touch up on some other things that happened throughout the series. So the context you need is Disassembled happens, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, it all gets ruined, right? The Avengers are ruined. There's no Avengers.
What about Jack of Spades?
Jack of Hearts.
Jack of Hearts, yeah.
Yeah, he previously died, came back to life, blew up Ant-Man, then died again. So he's not in the picture either.
Oh, okay.
He just came back actually in a
Really?
She-Hulk series.
How does he? Do you know how he comes back?
I haven't read it yet,
Oh, okay.
so I can't tell you.
In
But
She-Hulk, okay, is he a She-Hulk character
No.
originally?
not at all. I don't think so. So this volume is called Breakout because there will indeed be a breakout of some kind.
They've got just terrible acne.
Yeah. So it starts with a little recap of what happened. Avengers Mansion blew up. Scarlet Witch ruined everything. Avengers are gone. That's the recap. That's what Bendis
Is that
writes.
Beast?
Yeah, there he is.
He looks like a dog. Why does he look like a little blue dog?
Blue's
He's like
Clues?
short. He's got
Yeah.
a dog nose.
Yeah, Beast was going through it at this time.
Yeah, he was going through the dog.
Yeah. So at this time, Marvel is changing. This is before Civil War, and Brian Michael Bendis at this time was writing Daredevil also, and that's kind of important.
Why is it important that Daredevil is being written at the same time?
Oh, because Daredevil's kind of in this.
Oh, okay.
So this book picks off with Matt Murdock, Foggy Nelson, and Luke Cage going to this maximum security prison called the Raft, which is off the coast of Manhattan. And they meet up with Jessica Drew, aka Spider-Woman. And Spider-Woman, do you know anything about Spider-Woman?
Yeah, you told me a little bit. It's Jessica Drew,
Yeah.
and she shoots lasers. She's not Spider, really, but she's also Spider.
Yep.
It's just her costume, right?
It's just her
I don't
costume.
really understand. Like you told me before. It's just because it sells,
she
right?
She
of
can stick
Spider-Man.
to walls and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I think she could shoot webs sometimes, but usually just like green lasers.
But does she have like the spider strength and the?
Yeah, she's strong and shit.
So did she get bit by a radioactive
No,
laser
not at all.
spider?
No.
Okay.
She got like experimented on.
With spider blood, or
Maybe.
Okay.
Jessica Drew is a complicated character because she's been like brainwashed and a member of Hydra, and she's worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. Currently she's with S.H.I.E.L.D. and she's a superhero. She's got a lot going on. But right now she's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she is like Matt Murdock and the others' liaison to the Raft. And do you know anything about Luke Cage?
A little bit, just from the TV show.
Yeah.
That I didn't watch.
Okay.
But he's in like, what's the show where?
Defenders?
Yeah, the Defenders.
He is in that.
He's in that.
Yeah.
He's really strong.
He is strong. He's indestructible for the most part, but they always find a way to...
He's got a kryptonite of some kind.
I mean, no, but like...
Just like extra strong bullets can...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think in Age of Ultron, he gets blasted by an Ultron, and he has internal bleeding, but they can't cut him open to fix it.
Yeah.
Really sucks for that guy.
That's pretty crazy.
It is. So Luke Cage...
So his insides aren't it's like tough skin, or...
Yes.
Okay.
His skin is like indestructible. Because he was also experimented on.
Oh.
In prison, though.
In prison?
In prison.
Yes, prison experiment. It was his cellmate mixing a potion up in the toilet.
Yeah. So Luke is with Matt and Foggy because at this time, Bendis is writing Daredevil, and Daredevil's secret identity has been outed to the public. So everyone knows Matt Murdock is Daredevil, even though Matt is trying to sway them in a direction that maybe he's not. And if anyone claims that he is Daredevil, he's going to sue them. Because, he has to keep his secret identity.
Sue them for calling him names? Or...
Yeah, for slander.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think a newspaper is like, Matt Murdock's Daredevil, and Matt is like, I'm going to sue you for writing that in the paper. And they're like, never mind. It's really weird.
Yeah, he's a lawyer. Like,
exactly.
What
like,
do
you're not going to argue with him. You'll lose. And Luke is with them because he's Matt's bodyguard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're going to the Raft.
He's probably a good bodyguard.
He's the best bodyguard. At this time, he's also married to Jessica Jones, and I think she's either pregnant or she's already given birth.
Wait, so in Disassembled is when they couldn't do the surgery, right?
No, Age of Ultron.
Oh, never mind. I was going to say, if this is right after, he's okay now?
Yeah, Age of Ultron.
Just healed.
Yeah, he just got better. He took some Theraflu. He's okay.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron's a few years after this, like 10 years after this maybe. So We're spending so much time.
Is that
with this one
Nightcrawler?
No, this is the Purple Man.
Oh yes. Okay.
Luke,
the Purple Man.
Luke,
Is
Matt
that from Jessica Jones?
Yes.
Okay.
Luke, Matt, and Foggy meet up with Jessica Drew at the raft because they're going to investigate the Purple Man. Not really investigate him. They're going to check up on him because he has a power to like alter brain chemistry and like take over your mind, make you do whatever he wants you to do. And Jessica Drew is like, here at the raft, we dosed him with like so many drugs. Like we just flushed everything out of his system. He's like comatose, pretty much. So
I think you use that word in every single episode.
What?
Comatose.
Comatose?
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably do.
It's like your favorite word.
I guess so. You ever... What's that band? Skillet? You ever listen to Skillet? They have
Yeah,
that
of
one song,
course.
Comatose?
Is that why? You just love that song.
I'm just a hardcore Skillet fan.
Yeah.
Who isn't?
Losers.
Exactly.
That's who.
I remember being like 8 and finding Skillet. Be like, whoa, this is so metal.
Skillet was awesome.
They were. So Jessica Drew shows them the Purple Man. They're like, he's not going to be a problem anymore. And that gives Luke like peace of mind because Purple Man has history with his wife, Jessica Jones. We're not going to go into it. We're going to do Jessica Jones one day, eventually. If I ever get my shit together and actually talk about books that I want to.
I'm just kidding.
This whole time, Foggy is like shitting his pants because he doesn't want to be here. This is a maximum security, but it's full of some of the worst supervillains. Like, it's not just criminals. It's supervillains.
Yeah.
And, like, Matt and Jessica are like, don't worry, Foggy. Like, you're surrounded by 3 capable superheroes. If anything happens, which it won't because we have, like, high tech, you know, we have a generator just in case. Like, you're safe. Don't worry. All of a sudden, the lights black out.
I was going to say, they always say that right before something happens.
The lights black out. Foggy's like, what's going on? And then Foggy feels something behind him.
It's Freddy Fazbear.
No, Foggy feels something behind him. And he's like, Matt, is that you? And it's fucking Carnage.
Oh.
Carnage is just lurking in the fucking hallways.
So Carnage was in the facility, or
he broke out because once the whole like blackout happened, all the cells open.
Of course.
But they were like down in the sublet, like the below layers, so they didn't notice all the cells opening. And as like the blackout happens, the cells open. Carnage makes himself known to Foggy. Foggy shits his fucking pants, bro. And a giant explosion destroys half the raft. One second. My bad.
That's okay. Why is it called the Raft? Is it an acronym for something?
It probably is. I really don't know. So.
Oh, whoa. That's cool.
Yeah.
Foggy looks awful. Yeah, it looks disgusting.
So all the lights black out in the raft. Someone blasts a hole through it, and all the villains escape. Carnage shows up behind Foggy. He's screaming. You know Ned Flanders?
Of course.
How Ned Flanders screams? Like, ah! Like, I imagine that's how Foggy sounds.
It is, yeah. Hi there, neighbor.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, if I saw Carnage, I'd shit my fucking pants.
Oh yeah,
you know he's scary.
He is. He's very red.
He is very red. He's like Venom, but red.
Yeah, it's
like
scary.
It's like someone said, "Let there be carnage."
Did someone say that?
Not in that movie, no.
Oh really?
Bendis said it.
I feel like that's right up Sony's alley to say something like that.
I know. So while Matt, Luke, and Jessica fight off Carnage, get Foggy out of there. Meanwhile, Spider-Man sees like everything going on at the raft, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta swing all the way over there, but like, I can't. There's nothing to swing from, and I'm not gonna swim." And then a helicopter flies over. He swings on that.
Oh, that's why it's called the Raft, because it's in the water.
It is in the water.
It's like Alcatraz.
It is, yeah. It's off the coast of Manhattan. And so Spider-Man swings his way over using a helicopter. Also in the helicopter is Captain America. Because, like, Captain America's with S.H.I.E.L.D. at this time. Not like No, he's like working with Shield.
Isn't Shield bad or no?
No,
Oh, okay.
that's Hydra.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was like Hammer or something. No.
No.
Okay.
Have we talked about that?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't remember the timeline, like when that happens.
Okay. That happens a few years after this.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure we will.
Maybe. So Captain America and Spider-Man both end up at the raft at the same time, just as like they're both swarmed by like hundreds of supervillains that have broken out. Spider-Man gets the shit kicked out of him.
Mm.
Here's Jigsaw. Have you ever talked about Jigsaw?
No, because we've never talked about
The Punisher.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks way cooler in the comics than he does in the TV show.
He does. He
where
sucks
he's got
in the
one
TV show.
scratch on his face.
He does.
He's like, you've ruined me.
I know. Like, bro, just you could still get a job. You can still live your life.
You
It's not
look
that big
normal.
a deal. He does look normal. Did you ever watch the Punisher Warzone movie?
No.
He looks grotesque in that.
Oh.
We should watch that.
Who's Punisher in that?
Some guy.
Oh, okay.
Ray Stevenson.
We've talked about it, but we never watched it.
We should watch it. It's not great, but it's awesome.
Is it worse than the Daredevil movie?
No way.
So it's better than the Daredevil.
Wait, no, that Daredevil movie's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, they're about the same.
Oh, okay.
If you know what to expect.
Is there
it's really
evanescence in it?
No.
He's like punishing
but
people?
There's a parkour Jamaican man.
Really?
Yeah, it's cool.
Huh. That sounds awesome.
It is. So, it's just complete chaos at the raft. Carnage is being attacked, Carnage is doing the attacking. Jessica Drew uses some of her spider powers, I guess. Spider powers of lasers on Carnage, kind of blasts him away. And
I hate when I'm about to swat a spider and he shoots yellow lasers at me. So annoying.
So you probably noticed this character right here.
Yeah, who is that?
This is the Sentry. Have we ever talked about the Sentry?
Isn't Sentry spelled with a C?
No. Well, not this one.
Oh, it's like Sentry, like... I get it.
It's not Century.
Yeah, no.
Sentry.
Yeah, I get that now.
Yeah. So the Sentry is a really interesting character. He was also locked up in the raft, and when the blackout happened, he was released.
Okay.
Sentry was a character who, I think, he had his own solo series like right before this, or at this time, written by this guy Paul Jenkins, and the Sentry is practically like Superman. You know, he's like big, buff, super strong. He has the power of like 1 million exploding suns or something.
Okay.
Just to like
that sounds
scale
like
his power.
more than Superman.
I know.
But
yeah, Sentry.
What is he? He's got the power of one unexploded sun.
Yeah, Sentry is super powerful. Right?
Okay.
And
what does that mean? Like, does he do fire or?
I really can't tell you.
Gamma radiation.
He just like flies around and punches a lot.
Okay.
But he's really
he's like
strong.
Superman without the laser eyes, or
yeah.
Okay.
And blonde hair and schizophrenia.
Oh, we talked about him a little bit. Yeah.
So the Sentry is this character named Bob Reynolds, who he had his own solo series where it's one of those stories like, was he a superhero or was he just insane?
Like Moon Knight.
Like Moon Knight,
yeah.
but before Moon Knight came out. So was he ever the Sentry? There's comics of the Sentry. He remembers putting on the costume. And the big thing with the Sentry is he has schizophrenia or dissociative identity disorder. And DID, just like Moon Knight.
Yes.
And another personality he has.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And another personality he has is the Void. And the Void is like...
The Noid?
The Noid.
I think... Did I make that joke the first time we talked about it?
Okay. The Void is this, like, alter ego or alternate personality of the Sentry where, like, the Sentry's a superhero. And all the good that he does, the Void plans to do great evil and counteract it.
Okay.
But it's still his body, you know? So it's like, Sentry saves the day, and all of a sudden he's like, he becomes a Void, and he starts killing people.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. We're going to talk about the Sentry solo series one day. It's dope.
Have you read the whole thing? Or
yeah. It's like 6 issues or 8 issues. It's really short. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool.
Are they still making Sentry comics? Or
no, he died.
Oh, well. Obviously not.
Well, he died much later.
He's he kind of looks. I saw him and I thought it was Hercules or something.
Yeah, usually he has like short blonde hair, but here he has like long beard, long hair. He's been in the raft. He locked himself up for a reason we'll get to down the road.
Because he knows that he does bad things.
Yes.
Well,
he
not him, but him.
He locks himself up to make sure the void doesn't get out.
So is it like standard dissociative identity disorder, or is it like space?
Hello? Hello?
This seems important. Do you want to stop the podcast
No,
and get back?
it's okay. It said unknown. That was weird. So
Is someone else's phone started ringing at the same time? That's very weird.
That was spooky.
So is it like the standard dissociative identity disorder, or is it like a space multi-exploding sun version of it?
It's like a
like
comic.
Is it real?
Yes. No, he's like he actually has
another.
It.
Okay.
Yeah, like he's a guy who does have DID.
Right, but is it that, or is it that he actually has the void living inside of?
Oh, I think he has the void living inside of him, but he also has DID.
Got it.
So he has both. So he has bad luck.
That's
really what he has. So while Foggy's being attacked by Carnage, the Sentry shows up, and Carnage tries to attack him, and Sentry grabs Carnage, flies up to space, and rips Carnage in half.
What?
And just kills him.
Oh, so is Clyde not in him?
Cletus Cassidy? No, he is.
Oh, okay.
He dies.
Okay.
He's dead. Okay. Meanwhile...
But the symbiote thing is probably fine.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It lives in space.
It's from space. He's fine. So meanwhile, Captain America is helping Spider-Man, who's all like beaten up. He made like a web sling for his arm.
Oh, that's cute.
Captain America helps him out.
Who's that?
I don't even know. There's so many villains on this page.
Conehead Monkey Man over here.
They have Crossbones right here. Oh. You remember Crossbones from Captain America?
Yeah. Died.
Yeah.
Like instantly.
So, no. In the movie, he died, but in Captain America, the Winter Soldier comic, he does not die. So, while Captain America and Spider-Man are fighting together, Iron Man shows up because you gotta have Iron Man in the book.
Of course.
He shows up, he's like, hey, everybody, I'm Iron Man. And he helps. Now, during this breakout, the Purple Man, what?
Nothing, he's just a silly character.
And his real name is Zebediah Kilgrave.
I don't know if that's the coolest name I've ever heard or the worst name I've ever heard.
I know. Because here's usually what Sentry looks like.
So, because the doors are opened, he's like no longer drugged?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or maybe he had a collar on or something.
Did he?
I don't know. But he's better now.
Sure.
And
he's evil. Eviler than ever.
And of course, he takes over Luke Cage's mind. So he's like, Luke Cage, go kill all these other heroes.
Which is exactly what Luke Cage didn't want to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you get to see Luke Cage fight all his friends. No, actually, he doesn't fight his friends. He's about to. You see his eyes change, and then he snaps out of it and just like completely beats the shit out of Purple Man.
Oh, wow.
And it's really violent and cool.
Well, because his brain is stronger than bullets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so this is like the team right now, right? So you got Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Daredevil is Matt. He's not in costume, but he's still fighting in the fight because all the villains are like, "Oh, we heard you're Daredevil, Matt Murdock. That's cool." So they attack him and he starts doing karate, and they're like, "We knew it." Meanwhile, Foggy is like hiding somewhere. Jessica Drew is helping out the fight.
He's fine though. He's not.
Yeah, no, he doesn't die or anything.
Carnage just like wanted to smell him or something.
I mean, he was gonna eat him, but he didn't.
Okay.
So, I should also mention, like later. I mean, not later, but so the whole team will like stop the breakout. They'll put all the criminals back in their cells. Most of the criminals. The two criminals that aren't in their cells. The first one is the one who staged this whole breakout, and that's Electro. I didn't mention that because I wanted it to be a surprise. I don't know if we ever talked about Electro.
We've talked about him not in a comic book. I don't.
Yeah,
but
you ever see?
But I know who Electro is.
Yeah. You ever see comic book Electro?
Is he blue?
No.
Oh no.
Here
This is the classic.
Yeah.
Electro. You've got the action.
I
figure
do.
of him.
He gets hired by like a shadowy individual who's like, go break this character out of the prison.
So he can like travel through electricity though, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this shadowy person is like, go break out this certain character from the prison. And Electra's like, can I dress in my costume? And the dude's like, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want. And he's like, sick. And he puts the costume on. And then he stages the breakout.
Is he like a goofier villain?
Yeah.
Usually? I mean, he's a Spider-Man villain, so I imagine he's kind of...
Like, he's... Yeah, oh, yeah. Like, he's goofy, but he's a threat, you know?
Right, he's going to kill people.
No, yeah, straight up. Like, he will...
But... You know, he's got a sense of humor about it.
Of course. he has a fashion sense also.
Yeah. Does he do, like, electricity puns?
Probably.
Like, shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, that's more of the Shockers thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the Shocker.
I know.
How could I forget the other electric kind of
vibrating
villain?
guy.
Yeah, because he's not really electricity.
No.
Sometimes I think he is.
Yeah. He's not. He, like, vibrates.
Huh.
Spider-Man called him the vibrator once in Ultimate Spider-Man. So funny.
That's awesome.
I
love when he's got like the suit with the mesh arms and stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I
like
love the
his suit.
Shocker. I like when the Shocker's like the writer's self-aware of how lame the Shocker is. I think that's fun. So
every time, sorry to cut
no,
you
you're
off.
good.
Every time I think of the Shocker, I think of this PS2 Spider-Man game I played. You ever play that?
Was it Ultimate Spider-Man?
Maybe. I don't remember the title, but I think
Describe it to me.
Well, there's one thing that I really remember about it.
Okay,
it's that when you're playing the tutorial, Bruce Campbell just like roasts the shit out of you.
That's Spider-Man 1, the movie game with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, that is it.
Or
Spider-Man
2.
Yeah, it's based off the movie, I think.
Yeah, I know Shocker is in Spider-Man 1, the game. I think he's in both, actually.
He's like the first boss you fight, and he's
okay.
He's not that hard, but
no.
He's I feel like I remember him having like electricity in some sort of way, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's just for the video game, you know.
No,
you gotta make it
cooler. You can't just have the room shake.
Exactly. That's not really anything. So after the whole breakout, Captain America and Iron Man have a little chat over a nice cup of Joseph, and Cap is like, it was pretty spectacular last night. That made it seem like they were having sex. Cap is like,
you were great last night.
Yeah, he was like, we were a great team last night, all of us at the breakout.
Yeah.
We were able to beat them all up. We were able to throw them back in jail. We still got to hunt down Electro and find out the other character who was broken out of the jail.
And possibly Sentry as well.
Yeah, Sentry just flew away.
Did they get a bunch of people back into the cells?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sentry did fly away, though. So they're like, we got to worry about him also. Yeah. And Iron Man's like, yeah, I mean, it was cool, but we're just superheroes. That's what we do. And Cap's like, I think it's time. I think it's time for a new Avengers team. And Iron Man's like, Cap, that didn't work last time. Do you remember what happened? Scarlet Witch went crazy and, killed everyone. And Cap's like, yeah, but this time she won't be on the team. It'll be okay. We'll all be sane.
There was a lot of people on the team, too.
There was, yeah.
I feel like this is a good way to cut it back, because it's kind of... I was going to say confusing, but it's not really confusing. Like, I understand what's going on.
It's just a lot.
But yeah, there's a lot going on. It's a little overcrowded.
And so Iron Man's like, I know you want to jump into this idea of the Avengers again because it did work so well for so many years, but we're not a team yet, we're just characters who were at the right place at the right time. And Cap is like, and that's what started the Avengers.
Right.
The first time
they
movies,
weren't a team before they started
the movies make you believe that Nick Fury found all the Avengers and put them on a team. Originally, the Avengers just bumped into each other and then teamed up and punched Loki in the head. They just all coincidentally met up with one another.
They all saw the big beam shooting into the sky.
Yeah.
And it attracted them.
Exactly. And then they decided just to keep hanging out and fighting bad guys. And Cap is like, it's time to assemble a new team. And Iron Man's like, okay, I mean, I'm already in the book, so I'm going to stay in the book. And Cap is like, cool, I'll go find everybody else. So first, Cap goes to Peter. Cap is not in the costume. So Steve Rogers goes to Peter. And currently Peter is a high school teacher. And
but what's the difference? Everyone knows that I guess he's just some blonde guy.
No, yeah.
Right?
It really doesn't matter.
But people would recognize him.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, why is Peter Parker from English class talking to Captain America?
Yeah. It's after Peter gets out of the school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not at work.
You said he went to school.
Well,
and talked to him.
Okay, it is right outside
it looks
the
like
building.
There's so many people around.
Everyone will know that Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So Cap is like, "Hey, Pete, like you remember last night? not like sex, but like when we fought together
and the sex.
And Peter's like, "Yeah, I got a black eye from it.
The fight was bad too.
And the fight was bad too." And Steve is like, "Listen, I'm putting together a new team, and I want you on it." And Spider-Man's like, "Me? Why? I suck." And Captain America's like, "You don't suck. You're cool. And you'll sell more of this book. Come on, be on the team." And Spider-Man's like, "Okay, I guess." Spider-Man's really reluctant to join this team.
I mean, wouldn't you be?
Yeah, Spider-Man's like, I'm very self-destructive.
How old is he at this point? Still 15?
Anywhere from like 20 to like 30.
Oh, so that was college, not high school that he was walking out of?
He's a teacher at the school.
Oh.
He's an adult.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that changes everything.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
He's an adult man.
That's, okay, I see.
He's a science teacher at this school.
Got it.
Yes.
After the run that you really like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or during. It's at the same time.
So is there a point in that run where he's like, between this chapter and this chapter, he joined the Avengers and did this?
Yes, there is.
Oh, boy.
I hate tie-ins.
Yeah.
You know? We're not going to talk about it here. Maybe we'll make a whole other little one-shot episode of why I hate tie-ins. Not now, though. Anyway, so next...
fix tie-ins.
Yeah. So next Cap goes to Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, and she is pregnant at this time. So she hasn't given birth yet. What?
So, okay. So they were both... No, Jessica Jones wasn't experimented on, though, right? Just Luke Cage
Yeah, she was.
Oh, okay.
Just like Luke and just like Jessica Drew.
Because she was supposed to be like Jessica Drew. That's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
originally Bendis wanted Jessica Drew, but couldn't use her for his story.
Because the story was too dark.
Yeah, so he had to create Jessica Jones.
So, if they have a child together...
Yeah.
Will it have their powers?
It does.
Okay.
She does.
That's simple. I like it.
Yeah. She is...
None of that X-gene bullshit.
None of that X-gene bullshit. She's just a strong baby.
Awesome.
Okay. Then later during Secret Invasion, when the baby's born, Jarvis, the butler for the Avengers...
Not the robot.
Not the robot, but the butler will steal the baby. And it turns out that he's a Skrull. But that's not important.
Yeah, let's get into that another.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. So Cap goes to Luke and is like, "Hey, Luke, last night was pretty cool. You wanna?"
He's just saying that to everyone.
Yeah, literally, he's like, "Last night was really cool. I want you on my Avengers team." And Luke is like, "Yeah, okay, I'm down. I had a good time last night. I mean, sure." And
not Jessica Jones though. She's
she's
retired,
pregnant,
right?
Yeah. I mean,
she wasn't really doing hero stuff before she got pregnant, right?
Not really. I mean, like she would still help people, but she's more of just
she
like a private investigator. Yes,
the danger.
She will help people if they need, but she's more or less just a private investigator with superpowers, and she's also pregnant. And Cap is like, that's very irresponsible if you're on this team. So like when you're not pregnant, maybe you could join.
Yeah.
So Luke is like, I'm in. Steve is like, do you think Daredevil will join?
No.
And Luke is like, no fucking way Daredevil's gonna join. I know exactly what he's gonna say. He's gonna say,
no.
He's gonna say, oh, my life is really bad right now. Everyone knows I'm Matt Murdock. Like, it'll ruin the reputation of you guys. And of course, that's exactly what Daredevil does say. And Steve is like, please, Daredevil, you're really cool. And
he looks awesome in that picture.
He does.
He's so muscular. Like I can see every single rope of muscle in his
I should
body.
mention the art in this book is done by David Finch, who did Moon Knight and a bunch of other stuff. He's great. The art in this book is super cool.
Yeah.
Daredevil says no to joining the team. He's like, I'm already being written by Bendis in one book. I don't need to be written again.
He doesn't need the double Bendis
Exactly.
ruining his life.
So I'm done. I'm not going to be in the book anymore.
Okay.
See you later. Next cap goes to Jessica Drew, who is training in like a SHIELD gym. And he's like, you want to join the team? Like, Daredevil said no, but everyone else said yes. So please, we really need someone cool besides Spider-Man. And Luke. I like Luke.
They're all cool.
They're all cool, but like, I feel like Marvel really wanted Daredevil on the team. They were like, the editors were like, Daredevil's cool and hot. Not like sexy, but like, he's hot right now. Like, he is sexy, you know. But like, Daredevil's a character that is selling books right now. You know, we had Kevin Smith write him, and now we got Bendis writing him. Like, we want him on the team. And Bendis is like, fuck that. No, I'm keeping him for myself.
Oh. That's kind of nice that he respects his own story, though.
I know. The thing is, Bendis is the writer who really respects his story, but when it comes to other continuities and things, he doesn't give a shit.
Like, yeah, what's going on with Captain America right now? Does he have his own running series?
I'm pretty sure it's like the Winter Soldier run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Cap goes to Jessica Drew and is like, hey, join the team. And she's like...
so is the Winter Soldier run just Bucky?
Yeah.
Well,
like that story we covered.
Just that book, though?
Well, no, it's a long run. Like,
okay.
That's just like
I
the
didn't
first...
know there was more to it.
That's just like the first few issues of that run. It goes on for like a pretty long time. Eventually Captain America will die. There's a lot that happens in that series.
And then it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
No.
Okay.
At the same time as that show, they released a Falcon and the Winter Soldier comic.
Yeah, of course.
Because Marvel can't handle themselves. So Jessica Drew does say yeah. And she's like, yeah, you know, I got a lot of like problems. You know, I used to work for Hydra. I'm working with S.H.I.E.L.D. I got a lot on my plate right now. I have so much on my plate, and I'm not even hungry. And Cap's like, oh, don't worry. It'll be fun. And it's nice to have a girl on the team.
Does Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, have a solo series running at the same time as well?
No.
So she's got nothing going on.
I know.
What's that hesitation for?
It's more of just like character hesitation and not editorial hesitation. Here she is in costume, by the way.
I like the little triangle on her forehead.
Yeah. I love her costume. I think it's so cool.
Yeah? You like how tight-fitting it is?
Oh, they're all tight-fitting.
I know.
So, all the Avengers...
Daredevil?
So, all the new Avengers meet up at Stark Tower. They run into Jarvis. Jarvis is like, hey, everybody, come in. I'll make some breakfast. We'll all... What?
Nothing.
So
I feel like every time excuse me.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I see a female superhero, their suit looks like an actual suit where it like doesn't fully conform to the body.
Yeah.
Whereas Spider-Woman, it's like tucked under her breasts.
Yeah. Like it looks
they're like in their own pockets.
This looks like it's her skin.
Yeah.
Like it's so skin tight.
Kind of wacky.
It is.
But I like the pattern.
Me too.
It almost looks like not a Black Widow, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
I like it's very simple.
Yeah.
But it's also very cool. I don't know. So you get like fun moments between all the Avengers. You get a moment where like Luke Cage is like, so Spider-Woman, are you related to Spider-Man? And Spider-Man's like, no, we're not related. And she's like, yeah, you just said I could use the name. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, but now there's like... He makes reference how there's multiple Spider-Woman now. It's like, yeah, like I said you could use a name, but you didn't have to loan it out to other characters. And she's like, listen, bro, I fucking hop off my dick. Like, I don't care.
I like how he has his mask lifted up to drink his water.
Yeah.
And she's already got, like, the mouth opening.
I know. You just get a lot of fun moments between characters, and they eventually find out who is that other member, or the other prisoner who broke out. And that's a character named Carl Lycos, a.k.a. Sauron, who is a mutant, an X-Men villain, who turns into a giant pterodactyl.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. So
that's his one thing. That's all he can do.
Yes.
Huh.
And he's like really smart. He's a scientist. He experiments on mutating people and stuff. And so they track him to the Savage Land. Do you know what the Savage Land is?
No.
The Savage
I'm not
Land...
going to make something up.
Okay. The Savage Land is like a dinosaur island in the middle of Antarctica. So all the Avengers go to the Savage Land, and the Savage Land is a dinosaur island in the middle of Antarctica.
It's an island in Antarctica?
It's
or by it?
It's like, it's in it.
It doesn't look very icy.
It's not. It's a peculiar place. It's like this supernatural... It's almost like the Bermuda Triangle.
Okay.
Where, like, you go there and maybe you won't come back.
It's like the New Frontier.
Yes. Yes, it is. And usually... Someone makes a reference, like, you don't land in the Savage Land. Like, you crash in the Savage Land. And sometimes, like, your powers don't work in the Savage Land, but I think that might just be the cartoon. Like, the Savage Land is a weird place.
It, like,
maybe
warps reality
Sure.
somewhat.
Like, maybe
I mean,
it's
there's
supernatural.
dinosaurs there, so
I know,
obviously...
and it's in Antarctica, and it's not snowy or icy at all. Like, there's something weird with this place. They're not going to go into it. Just, Kara Lycos, a.k.a. Sauron, feels that place with all these dinosaurs. Sauron. Like from Lord of the Rings? Oh, yeah. So, all the Avengers... Oh, so I said before, someone said, like, you don't land in the Savage Land, you crash in the Savage Land. And then, like, Iron Man's flying the plane, and he perfectly lands it. And he's like, yeah, okay. And then they all get out, and the plane explodes. And they're like... What the hell? Like, how are we going to get home now?
That seems kind of wacky.
It is wacky. It's so bizarre. I don't understand the Savage Land.
It almost seems too comedic.
It is. Yeah.
Like, what's the difference between that, other than it just being a joke, than him just crashing the plane?
There's literally nothing. There's literally nothing. So, the Avengers are walking through the jungle. It's like a jungle island, I should mention. So, they're walking through the jungle, and
I can see that.
Yeah, and they're immediately attacked by dinosaurs. Which is cool. I know, like, you love dinosaurs.
I do.
So, I don't know why it took me so long to talk to you about this.
This is awesome.
I know. You get a bunch of colorful characters on an island with dinosaurs, just like New Frontier.
It's like
but
all
very
you
different.
could ever want.
Exactly.
Or I could ever want, yeah.
So, they fight off the dinosaurs, and then they hear something rustling in the bushes, and it's Wolverine.
Oh.
That's right. Wolverine is also in the book because Wolverine sells fucking comic books.
Yeah, he does. But he's not, like, savage.
No, he is.
Oh, this is Savage Wolverine?
Well, no.
He's not, like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
From Onslaught, where he's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not like that.
He's back to normal. He's just on the Savage Island.
He's normal Wolverine, but he's always a little savage, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And so he shows up, he attacks Spider-Woman. He's like, what are you doing here? And they're like, what are you doing here? You're not even, like, on this team. And he's like, I was tracking Sauron. He's an X-Men villain. And they're like, that's a little convenient, Bendis, but okay. So Wolverine ends up tagging along with them. So Wolverine attacks Spider-Woman, and she knows, like, karate and shit. Like, she's a good fighter. She ends up stabbing Wolverine with his own claws in his neck.
Does she know who he is?
Wolverine?
Yeah. Have they, like, met before?
Yeah, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Why would Wolverine attack her? Because, like, he knows them, right? Like, he knows Spider-Man and Iron Man and Captain America.
That is true, yeah.
So if she's with them, obviously,
she's
not a threat.
So they talk to Wolverine. He's like, yeah, I was tracking Sauron here, and he had it. Like, Sauron's not the only one on this island. Like, there are natives to this island, like crazy jungle folk, but there's also, like, other criminals that are working with Sauron. And one of those other criminals is his character...
Crazy Jungle Folk Man.
Crazy Jungle Folk Man, yeah. Now, there's this character, Vertigo. She makes you dizzy and vomit and shit. And she ends up using her Vertigo powers, knocks everyone out. And when they wake up, they're all strung up and naked in Sauron's lair. Why are they naked? I don't know.
I don't know, but this is like Captain America's dream.
Yeah. Here's Carl Lycos. He's not a pterodactyl right now, but he shows up and he's like, "Oh, you want me to tell you my evil plan?" And they're like, yeah.
No.
Yeah, they're like, "We don't care. We're
They're
just
like,
gonna...
no, put a shirt on.
Exactly. They're like, "We're just here to punch you guys, okay? Or we're just here to punch you, Sauron. So like, let us go." And Sauron's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm busy with my work. Like, I broke out of the prison because I just didn't want to be there. I don't necessarily have like an evil scheme or anything. I'm just gonna continue my work of like mutating and experimenting on things. And I just like the Savage Land. What are you even doing here? Like, I'm not bothering anybody."
Yeah, he's secluded out in Antarctica.
Exactly.
Like, he's not hurting anyone.
Exactly.
Except the people
The
or
natives,
things
yeah.
that he experiments on.
Exactly. So eventually Sauron leaves, and Iron Man's suit like autopilots and rescues all of them. They break out of there.
That's convenient.
It's very convenient. That's Bendis. There's a giant fight with the Avengers and a bunch of the native folk. Again, you get to see Captain America.
They're fighting the natives?
Yeah. Well,
Why?
these are the natives that have been like mutated by
okay.
Sauron.
They're like brainwashed.
Kinda, yeah. And Captain America yells at Avengers Assemble, which is like the first time he's yelled that in a while.
They're like, you don't have to say that. We're all here.
Exactly, yeah. You get to see Sauron.
Whoa.
He's Sauron's up.
That's cool.
It is super cool.
But he's not really he's like a man pterodactyl.
He's like a man pterodactyl, yeah.
He's got very spinny eyes.
Yeah, he can mind control you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he immediately pterodactyls up and then is just shot in the head.
A lot of mind control heroes or villains in this.
There is. It's kind of peculiar. So Sauron is immediately shot and seemingly killed. So the Avengers are like, "What the hell was that?" And it turns out this character, Yelena Belova, who is in the Black Widow movie, and she's also been Black Widow for a time. She's like an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or like from an offshoot of S.H.I.E.L.D. She stormed in the Savage Land, and she's leading like a whole team of agents in the Savage Land doing like really suspicious government shit with like the land and the natives and everything. And Captain America's like, "What are you doing?"
So she's bad.
She is like straight up bad.
Is she bad in Black Widow as well?
No,
or?
like she's not a villain, but she's not a good person.
Oh, okay.
You know,
she's not being like brainwashed to do bad
no,
things.
she's just a bitch.
Okay.
Like she's very like, she has her own agenda, and she's gonna stick to it. You get to see like this little camp kind of that they set up in the Savage Land, and this is all like land that they've destroyed or dug or whatever. And so that's pretty much the first volume. Sauron's not actually dead. He wakes up, flies away, and after this, so that little team, you can look through it. So after the what?
No, I'm just excited to look through
Yeah,
it.
it's cool. The art's really good. So Captain America yells at Yelena Belova, and he's like, "You can't do this. Like, the Savage Land is like a crazy place, but it's still like, there's still people here. You can't just dig. You can't do experiments on the land. Like, I'm going to go to the president. I'm going to tell on you."
Yeah,
and
you don't have your permits.
Exactly. And Yelena's like, "Bro, by the time the president gets here, like, he'll have no idea that we were even here." And then all of a sudden...
Does he even know that place exists?
Probably not.
Also, why the president? It's not America. Right? He's got no jurisdiction over this piece of land. I'm pretty sure Antarctica is like...
That's Captain America's only threat. You know? He's like, "I'm going to tell the president." But that's pretty much like the first volume of this. The rest of the series, there's a lot of Marvel events that happen during this series, like Civil War and Secret Invasion and Siege. And Siege is the one where Norman Osborn becomes head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and turns it into Hammer. I know you asked about that before.
Yeah. So that's... okay.
Yeah.
Who's this big guy?
Oh, that's Dr. Hyde.
Oh.
Or Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Hyde?
Yeah.
Dr. Jekyll?
Yeah.
Does he has to take a little potion to do that, or?
Yeah. Or, like, he took one potion and he's good.
He's huge. He's like Hulk size.
He is. He's, oh, man. He also has a wacky name, like Zebediah Kilgrave. But
is it Kurt Gerhardt?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's just the first name I saw.
Yeah.
Dr. Calvin Zabo.
Yes. He's cool. I like Dr. Hyde. You ever watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No.
He's a villain in that show.
Really?
Yeah, he has a daughter who's a character named Quake. She could, like, make earthquakes and stuff.
Does he ever fight the Hulk?
I'd imagine. A big, beefy guy like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotta.
But, first volume, I think it's very fun. And I think the whole run as a whole is pretty fun. You get to see, like, Wolverine, Spider-Man. Eventually, the Sentry will join the team. There's a really fun and kind of weird and meta, like, Sentry story in the second volume. Where, so, after Sentry rips apart Carnage, flies into space, and after the event of this whole first book, Captain America and Iron Man are like, we should go find that Sentry guy. And they end up locating him at a cave, and he's like crying in the cave, and he's scared. So Captain America and Iron Man locate the Sentry, and he's like I said, he has schizophrenia, he has the Void. He's scared of the Void coming out. And I told you that he locked himself up in the raft, like, on his own free will, because he thinks that he killed his wife. And so Captain America and Iron Man find his wife.
Did
he?
No.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
And they bring his wife to him. And she's like, Robert, like, you didn't kill me.
Robert.
That's his name. Or
Robert.
Bob. Robert.
His name is Robert?
Yeah, Robert.
Robert?
Robert.
When did you say that before? Did you say that?
His name's Bob Reynolds. Robert Reynolds.
Oh.
So
Bob.
Yeah.
That's such a regular name for the Sentry.
I know.
So he wasn't, like, born in space or anything?
No.
Oh, man. Okay.
So...
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So...
Caught me off guard with Bobbert.
I know. Bobbert.
Yeah.
So they bring his wife, and she's like, Bob, please, like, you need medication, you need help. And she sees that he's in the costume, and she's like, you're wearing the costume again. Bob, like, you're not the Sentry. And he's like, I am the Sentry. Like, everyone's trying to tell me I'm not, but I have all these superpowers. So maybe, like, he didn't actually kill Carnage. Maybe he's just going crazy. And then the characters are like, listen, you claim that you're the Sentry, but there was a comic book series, The Sentry. And there's, like, cartoons about the Sentry. So maybe, like, part of, like, those comics, like, imprinted on your brain, so you just think you're that character, but you're not. And they end up bringing Paul Jenkins, who is the guy who actually wrote the Sentry book. He shows up in this book as a comic book writer.
Really?
Who wrote the Sentry.
Huh.
And they're like, this is the guy who wrote that comic. Like, you're not the Sentry. It turns out he really is a Sentry.
Yeah, I was going to say, but he has powers.
Yeah.
Like, he can fly. They can see him fly.
Yeah.
So obviously why are they trying to gaslight him and tell him that he's not the Sentry?
I don't know. We're definitely going to talk about the Sentry one day.
We have to.
We have to.
I'm interested in it. It sounds like a cool comic.
It is. The art is insane for the Sentry solo run. But New Avengers is very cool. You know Ronin? Like Hawkeye? When Hawkeye becomes Ronin? That happens in this series. Well, there is a Ronin. It's not Hawkeye yet.
It's not Clint?
No.
Flint? What's his name?
It's Clint. But it's not Clint.
Is that what you said?
It's Clint.
They can never find him.
Yeah. It's not Hawkeye at first. You remember Echo?
Yeah.
From Daredevil. She's deaf. She's Ronin. She turns out to be Ronin.
Is Ronin just like a ninja?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bendis introduces the Ronin character, and he's like, I know who it's going to be. Everyone's going to love it. I can't wait for everybody to read it. And everyone guessed who it would be. Everyone was like, oh, it's going to be Daredevil. And he 100% planned for it to be Daredevil. And then Bendis is like, oh, everyone guessed it. Never mind, it's Echo. She was just wearing a man suit the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's kind of That kind of sucks.
It sucks. And it's not the first time, nor the last time that will happen in comic books. When someone guesses that a secret character is actually someone, and then they change it at the last minute. Comics are a silly business. They're a silly business. You can look through all these books.
Like, what, they change it just for the shock?
Yeah.
Like, would it have been a better story?
It probably would have been a better story if it was Daredevil.
Maybe.
Because that would have been, like, why was he Ronin?
Yeah.
I don't know. Could have been cool. But overall, New Avengers, I think it's a solid run. I think even though there's a lot of tie-ins to other events, I think it works. What are you looking at there? Oh, that's the Wrecker.
The Wrecker. He's giant.
Yeah.
So many big men in this
I
comic.
know.
Bendis loves big men. Is this the Wrecker too? He's wearing a little mask?
Yeah, there he is. There's a Wrecker.
Huh. What's his deal? He's just real big and strong?
He has an enchanted Asgardian crowbar.
What?
Yeah, he's cool.
Why would the Asgardians make a crowbar?
Well, it was enchanted by Asgardians.
Oh.
So it was once a normal crowbar.
So, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, of course.
Like every crowbar. It was once normal.
He brought it to space
Yeah.
to get enchanted. He made an enchanting table.
No, he sent it to Asgard, and then 7 days later...
And they were
He
just
sent it
like,
back.
sure, yeah, why not? Let's
Yeah.
just enchant this crowbar that showed up on our doorstep and send it back.
Of course.
So he's just big by birth. He's not like mutated.
Oh, yeah,
or
no, he's
special.
just a jacked guy.
Huh.
He has a funny name, too. I think his name is... I think his name is Dirk Girthwaite.
Where do you... Does it say that in here, you think?
I don't know. I mean, it definitely says it somewhere, but I'm pretty sure his name is Dirk Girthwaite.
Dirk Girthwaite. Man.
Unless I'm just making that up. But that's definitely a name from something. But overall, I think New Avengers is a really fun story. Gets a bunch of characters that I think deserve to be on the Avengers. You know, like Spider-Man, Wolverine, I think should always be on the Avengers because they're like the most profitable Marvel characters. And I really like Spider-Woman. I think she's cool. There's a lot more with her in the third volume.
Well, thank you for listening to this episode of the Off the Shelf podcast. It's been real nice having you here, listening to our voices go in your ears and into your brain forever. Denny, do you want to plug your TikTok?
Yeah, you can check me out at Being Off the Shelf on TikTok. I make usually videos every day, but sometimes every other day.
I like that when I tell you to plug your TikTok, you always go, Being Off the Shelf on TikTok. Like, yeah, we know. I just told you to plug your TikTok. Where else are they going to find you?
Yeah, I know. Get off my back, man.
No, I love your back.